What's also happening is the growing number of brown and black Republicans. Yes, I'm seeing us grow in droves. I'm so happy. It makes me happy because I've been usually the lone black Republican in a room, but it's nice. It's really nice to see. It's nice to see. It's sort of like there's that one part of the Bible that they talk about, removing the scales from their eyes so that you can really see things. That's what's happening to black and brown people. And we are not a monothought. We never were. So I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to November 20th. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled because they will cheat. They have no choice. That's what they do. That's how they're made. That's their DNA. Democrats cheat. And it's, I don't know, I'm not saying all Republicans are saints, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the Republican Party platforms are more in line with my Christianity. I believe in pro-life. I believe in individual responsibility, personal responsibility. I'm scared to death that these helping hands of the government right now during this pandemic, I'm scared to death that it will become habitual for people because it's done that before when they did that plan, with LBJ and they started the welfare programs or they enlarged it. It kind of got started by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but they really went with it in LBJ. And so they created generational dependence on the government. And that's what they want right now. If we depend on the government for everything, then the government becomes our daddy instead of God. And that's how the Democrats want it. They're the ones that wanted to take the prayer out of the schools. They're the ones. They're the ones that are pushing the LGBTQ, XYZ, whatever agenda. God help them. I mean, I've always had friends who have been gay, and they know where I stand. I love them, but I don't love the sin. Just as I think God loves them too. But he does not love the sin, just like he doesn't love my sin. He hates sin, not the person, the sin. So pushing that agenda really it opened a can of worms that I don't think we will ever recover from. It's something I'm reading about in this book, and it was a part of the feminist agenda as well, and it was basically destroying the family. And then how do you destroy the family? You promote promiscuity. You promote things that are against the family. And you have to convince women that it's not good for you to be around your kid all the time. You need the government to be around your kid 8-9 hours a day. You need to go out and work and then come home. And I don't care what anybody says. All that got us was 2 jobs instead of 3. I mean, 2 jobs instead of 1. I mean, before we were wives and mothers, but now you have to be a breadwinner and a wife and a mother. Make no mistake. It is never going to be equal. We are not the same as men. So equality is kind of an illusion. We're made differently. And I don't care how many sexes they say that we have, how many genders. They say, I think the last count was 51 or 57 genders now. There's only 2. There's X chromosome and Y chromosome. And until that changes, we got men and women. And that equality thing was an illusion. Remember when education was to be separate but equal? Well, we see how that worked. It was never going to be equal. Simple fact of the matter, your tax base determines the money that goes to the schools in any given system. And if your tax base is poor, very little money is going to go to the school. So the school will be poor comparatively to a neighborhood that the houses cost $1 million. But integration happened way before it was forced. And not everybody's a racist. I can vouch for that. But I've seen racism, and it is ugly. It is ugly. And I've seen it from all sides. I mean, I've seen it from whites. I've seen it from blacks. And it's not something I see on the daily, like they make you believe. I mean, it's rare. But when I see it, it's ugly. And the person who is the racist never realizes that they're the racist. They never realized it. I mean, they'll usually be the liberal, that's, ask me questions like, so Kathy, how is it that you're so, what's the word, well-spoken? How is that? Guarantee you that's a liberal talking to me. Guarantee you. Because I'm supposed to speak totally in Ebonics. So I guess I never went to school. I never took English. Last I checked, I had to take English every single year, every single semester, from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. And even then, some in college. The fact that we aren't all speaking perfect English tells me something seriously wrong with our educational system. Because I remember having to take those, do you remember diagrams when you had to diagram a sentence? You had to draw lines. This is the adverb. This is the noun. This is the adjective. Remember that? That was fun, actually. I loved English, but a lot of people thought that was horrible that we had to do that. They don't even do that anymore. But the English language took a punch in the last 20 years. In America, anyway, because, they had to lower the SATs, they say, or SAT requirements, because they thought they were ethnocentric to white Americans. I did great on my SAT, and I didn't even study. All they told me was to make sure you have a good breakfast before you come. I did fine. Most people I know did fine. Most people I knew were black. We all got into UT or Texas A&M. And you know what? We weren't all affirmative action. Because if you're in the top 5% of your high school, you're not in that affirmative action quota. Which I was in the top 5%. So a lot of assumptions that people have, they are usually the ones that the liberals perpetrate. They perpetrate it, and they want it to keep going because they want us to believe that there is no culture that is an American culture. They want to put every other culture above American culture. And American culture is the best culture in the world. Jazz, we got jazz music. I love this American culture. Country music. Think about an American culture. So I'm an American first. And I hope you are too. Well, happy to be an American, and stay well. Don't touch your face. I hate when they tell me that on the TV. I'm like, I really don't need Whoopi Goldberg giving me personal hygiene tips. She looks like a hobo. I don't want somebody who looks like a hobo telling me about my personal hygiene. But I really hope you guys, because I know you are on the right side of things. If you're listening to me by now, I mean, if you're a lefty, you probably already shut me off. But if you're on the right side of things, like I hope you are, then make sure you subscribe. You can subscribe through YouTube, on my Spreaker account, or you can go to WordPress, kathysright.com, and subscribe to that, and you will get every one of my broadcasts, as well as my writing. I hope you'll come back. This is Kathy of kathysright.com. Go out and have a Kathy's Right kind of day. Bye.